Caroline from To the Next Level. I'm just here today to give you a couple of drills that you can do at your house for baseball or softball. All you need is a bucket of balls, a tee, and a net. So here's a couple of drills that you can do to keep bringing your game to the next level. So today I'm going to talk about where you should stand on the plate and different contact points. So when you're starting out, when you're getting ready to go up to the plate, you want to make sure that you're not too close to the plate and you're not too far away from the plate. So the best rule of thumb that I like to use is that you should be close enough to the plate where if you extend your arm straight out across from you, you should be able to cover the whole plate. If you're having to reach to get to the end of the plate, you gotta scoot in a little bit. So another trick that you can use is if you put your foot right next to the plate, and then so you're about a foot length away. Another thing you want to be cautious of is that you're not too far back and you're not too far out in front of the plate. So the positioning of whether you're back or forward depends on the speed of the pitcher. So what I like to do is, for most of the time, I set up where my belly button is in line with the middle of the plate. If there's a faster pitcher, I'm going to scoot back a little bit because that gives me more time to see the pitch. If it's a little bit of a slower pitcher, I'm going to scoot up a little bit so that I don't have to wait as long to hit it. So we all know the basic hitting drills. You set up your tee right in the middle, you take a nice cut, but once you get more advanced, pitchers aren't going to throw right down the middle of the plate. So it's important to move the tee around and practice different pitches, inside and outside. So I'll go through each of the different pitches and where your contact point should be. So starting with down the middle, that'll be pretty easy, right? So my belly button's pretty much in the middle of the plate. Put a ball on for reference. So when I make contact with this pitch, I want it out just a little bit in front of my front foot. You see, when I'm at contact, my head's down at the ball. I have a slight bend in the elbow. I'm not locked out here. If I'm locked out, I have no power going through it. So a little bit of a bend, kind of like an L. And then you also have an L in your leg. So when I'm making contact for that pitch right down the middle of the plate, I'm right here. I'm looking down at it. If I were to drop my bat, my palms would be palm up, palm down. And that's exactly what you want. You don't want your top palm rolling over. So here's a couple. This is the contact drill for the pitch right down the middle. You're going to set up like you normally would, and then you're going to stop right at contact. So as you can see, this is a really good drill because you can stop yourself right after it. So if you notice, if your hips aren't turned all the way, or if your arms are locked out, that's an easy fix that you can see. Another thing you want to make sure is that you're using your lower half. A lot of times with younger batters, they like to think that it's all upper arms, but it's not. You gotta use your lower half too. So when you make contact with this pitch, your hips should be facing towards the pitcher. You should be balanced enough that you could take a little hop at the end of your swing and still land. And you want to make sure that your knees aren't too bent and they're not locked out. Okay, moving on to inside pitch. Let me just move my tee. So an inside pitch, you want to make sure that you're getting your contact point out in front. If you make contact with an inside pitch back here, you have no power. So with inside, you want to start your swing a little bit sooner, right? So I'm making contact out here, and I still have enough power to swing all the way through. So here's a couple contact drill from the inside. Another tip for these is that you want to keep your hands as close to your body. So when you go to swing, you're driving the knob towards the pitcher. So for inside, it's really important to keep your hands close to your body because you're not going to hit an inside pitch if your hands kind of cast out and come back around. So you want to keep them close. All right, moving on to the outside contact point. For outside, you have a little bit longer to hit the pitch because, again, you don't want to hit outside way out in front because you have no power. You have to wait a little bit longer so it's more towards your back leg, and you want to make sure with outside that you're going towards the pitch. Lots of times I see batters that will make contact with it, but because they pull their front shoulder out, they're not getting all the power behind it. So you want to make sure that you're waiting just a hair longer and you're making contact and then making sure you're following through. So here's what a couple of contact drills from the outside looks like. Again, you want to make sure that you're aware of where you're placing your feet. They should be in a nice straight line, not all crooked. And if you find yourself leaning too far over to hit the outside pitch, take a little step in. Finally, one last thing that I would like to add is when you're hitting inside for lefties, you should try and aim to hit it to right or right center. For outside for lefties, you should be aiming towards left and left center. Now it's the opposite for righties. Righties, outside, you're aiming for right and right center, and inside pitch, you're aiming for left and left center. Thank you so much for watching my short little video.